Hello, my name is Hassan Sorrells, and this is the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast. Shorts. There's no co-host on these shorts episodes. These are now around 6 to 8 minute long observations, ideas, thoughts, or rants about the literature, philosophy, psychology, and yes, even the theology of leadership. Because listening to me talk about leadership and ideas around leadership for now 6 to 8 minutes is still better than reading and trying to understand yet another business book. Even that one from that business book author that you really, really like. When the little things slip, then the large things, well, they're not that much further behind. The little things typically include all the unnoticed and uncommented upon ways in which we communicate with each other, or at least they are unnoticed and uncommented upon until they are absent. We in the United States, at least in our public-facing culture, seem to believe that rudeness is an appropriate replacement for courtesy. But in our private-facing culture, the culture of family, friends, communities, and more, we know that politeness, which increasingly feels like avoidance of quote-unquote truth to us, is still an integral part of the social glue that holds our bonds together. Leaders must navigate this tension between telling quote-unquote truth to power and maintaining the quote-unquote status quo. Social glue is necessary, we all know it. One cannot just dispense with it and hope that everything will just sort of kind of work out. One also cannot just assume that people will always behave or speak or act in certain ways, because without expectations, education, and yes, reinforcement, human behavior tends to drift to the lowest mean in any given group. Or as my grandma said back in the day, water always seeks its own level. People long ago, like my grandma, knew this, but we moderns, we very highly educated, very sophisticated moderns, have forgotten. So what of leadership in all of this? Well, leaders, you can start with dress codes, cell phone use, Zoom etiquette, and conversational topics in the office or on the email or on the chat that are available, and those that are verboten, those that are beyond the pale, those that will not be commented upon. You could start by setting standards in those areas. This is nothing new, by the way. Leaders believed once that strict adherence to guidelines helped preserve social glue. Was this fundamentally a tyrannical belief? Perhaps. But maybe in the case of social glue, what we need is to stop confusing acceptance and tolerance with a lowering of standards in the pursuit of some imagined egalitarianism, and maybe start getting back to reinforcing the importance of the little things. And well, that's it for me. Listen and subscribe to the Leadership Lessons from the Great Books podcast on all the major podcast players that you listen to podcasts on, including iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and even Spotify. And please leave a 5-star review if you like the show. We need those reviews to grow, and it's the easiest way to make sure that this show gets into the ears of the leaders who need to hear it. And of course, tell all your friends. If you want to get started on the leadership path, HSCT Publishing's products and services can help your team do that. Check out our training webinars, coaching services, and more at leadershiptoolbox.us. We also have a video-based subscription service, that's software as a service, that can help your team become better at the individual level. 60 modules and over 100 hours of video and written content for you at LeadingKeys.com. That's LeadingKeys.com. We've also got books that will help you and your team grow. Pick up a copy today of My Boss Doesn't Care, 100 Essays on Disrupting Your Workplace by Disrupting Your Boss, and subscribe to the Little Red podcast I launched earlier this year with the same name as that Little Red book. My most recent book is 12 Rules for Leaders, the Foundation of Intentional Leadership. co-written with contributions from Bradley Madigan. This is the book for right now that was written for leaders right now. Pick up a copy by heading over to 12rulesleadersbook.com/now. That's 12rulesleadersbook.com/now. You pay for shipping, and you'll get a copy of my second book as well. Finally, you can get all these books in paperback, hardcover, or as ebooks on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and any other place online you order books. Finally, HSCT Publishing is on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the video version of the Leadership Lessons for the Great Books podcast on the HSCT Publishing channel on YouTube. Just search for HSCT Publishing and hit the subscribe button. You'll get our weekly video updates, which is the video version of this podcast. And, of course, you're going to want to subscribe to my other podcast. That's right, I do more than one. The Hey Sansorels Presents audio experience, where I talk more casually with a broader range of people about all matters that matter in the world today, from arts all the way to analytics. All right, that's it for me.